Good morning, my friends. Long time no vlog. Thank you so much for sticking with me as I went ahead and took the entire month of April off, but I am back and we are getting started during a really great week for me. So it is a Monday morning and my husband left this morning to go on a business trip and he will not be back until late Thursday night, which gives me 4 whole days to myself. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. I love my husband. I love spending time with my husband, but when we are constantly in the same house, it is really nice to get a reprieve just every once in a while. I'm pretty sure the last time he left town was like last October or something, and it's almost May. So it's been a minute and we've had so many things going on, lots of socialization, lots of events, lots of spring cleaning, doing things, upgrading things, the whole 9 yards. We've been doing so much that this week, my intention was for our small group on Sunday, yesterday, we always make sure the house is nice and clean. My goal was to make sure that every chore was done. I have 1 load of laundry going right now. And that is the extent of like the must-do chores for the week, a single load of laundry. I do not need to meal prep because I've got a Hungryroot box coming tomorrow and I have a recipe plan for today. I do not need to clean because everything is clean except for my office. And I do not need to do anything. And then I had a couple of things in the evening on my calendar and all of the things have gotten canceled. Our other life group punted to next week because literally half the group is out of town. And the rehearsal that I'm supposed to have for singing at church on Sunday is also being canceled because there are apparently children putting on a musical and their rehearsal is Wednesday night in the same venue. So I don't even have rehearsal this week. I have nothing on the calendar. So, my friends, no husband, no chores, and no plans means that I get to dedicate this week to doing what I want, self-care, working out and fueling my body appropriately, and working on content for my comeback. So if you're seeing this video, I have already made my comeback, but I am so excited for this to be my first vlog. Today is actually supposed to be really stormy, like big storm warnings. Storm watcher groups on Facebook keep popping up in my newsfeed as you might like this content because apparently we're supposed to get some pretty wicked storms around 1 p.m. and or around 5 p.m. Now, if you're from the Midwest, you know that all storm threats are threats only until proven otherwise. But the fact that I don't have to leave the house at all today is really great. It is very dark outside. The only reason there's light is because I have a light in that corner. It's very, very dark. The house is very gloomy. It has already been raining. There has been rumbles of thunder. Thankfully, my husband got out before the big storms blew in. But that means that it is just going to be a cozy but productive day, and I am so excited. So, in case you're wondering what it is exactly we're gonna get done today, here is my to-do list. It is a long one, it is an extensive one, but it is one that I'm truly very, very excited about. The goal today, work out 10,000 steps. I've got some cleaning projects, some organizational projects I want to do. I want to go through the freezer. I want to go through the refrigerator. I want to go through the cabinet underneath the coffee maker, which contains a bunch of teas and like my random oils and my creatine powder and just like random things. I just wanted to be more organized, go through, see what's expired, if anything, clean things out and whatnot. So I'm doing a lot of deep cleaning today. And then as we swapped out our wardrobes from the cold weather clothes generally have been put away, all of my big fluffies. I do wear cold weather clothes all year round, but like the lighter stuff like this. So like my big Sherpa line stuff has all been put back in the basement and the summer stuff has come up. And in integrating them into my dresser, I got the immediate sense of overwhelm with too much happening in that dresser. So I want to empty out every drawer, reorganize, try some things on, and figure out where things belong for this summer season. So that is the plan. I also am gonna work out. I'm going to get my steps in. A lot of the chores will take care of the steps for me, I am sure. My work-related thing is I want to get my content calendar into my new task management software, and I want to make sure that I get a content plan for especially this week, but like into the month of May, done. So I know what it is I'm exactly supposed to be focusing on in terms of what to create for content. And then I'm hoping to also spend some time at the piano every day this week singing, because my husband's not here, which means I can sing during work hours, which is amazing. So I want to do all of those things. It's a very, very long day. I've already been working on some stuff on the computer. And so it is 9:57 a.m. and we are going to get this party started. Welcome to the vlog. I am so glad you're here. So I'm actually going to start by making myself some breakfast. I've been fighting with my computer for almost an hour, but that's a story for another day. So I'm a little bit behind now, but at least I'm hungry enough to be able to make some breakfast. So I am making teff pumpkin pancakes, and apparently the teff flour, which I found at Lunds & Byerly's, which is what I've dubbed the fancy grocery store, happened to find it. It is not cheap, but it is also hard to find. So I'm glad I found it because there are 2 recipes in this cookbook called Run Fast, Eat Slow, which is a cookbook that my sister-in-law, who is a very fit and healthy running individual, but is not a calorie counter of any kind or a dieter of any kind, just loves to eat healthy foods. She swears by this cookbook and by the other cookbooks that these women have put together. And these women are endurance athletes, they're runners. So a lot of this is meant to use healthy whole foods to nourish your body in order to fuel it properly for your running and things like that. Imagine that, healthy whole foods to nourish your body. So with the teff pancakes, it says, we snooped around to see what Shailene's competition eats and discovered the nutritional powerhouse that is teff, an ancient East African cereal grass. Teff has been a staple of Ethiopian cuisine for thousands of years. With all the running prowess coming out of Ethiopia, we couldn't help but explore more of the magic of this tiny grain. Unlike most other flours, when teff is milled, the germ and bran are left intact. Our philosophy is that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and definitely applies here. Teff flour is high in protein, fiber, calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, and vitamin B6, so move over quinoa. So we're gonna give this a try because it's a nutritional powerhouse. So I've already gotten things started here. We're making, essentially, pumpkin spice pancakes. I can't argue with that. So here we go. Y'all, is pancake cooking trauma a real thing? I know that my gift is not flipping and cooking up the pancakes. I was not given that gift, nor have I decided to exert the critical effort to learn this very specified skill. But they might not look that bad from far away. But first of all, I didn't read the instructions ahead of time. Rookie move. Y'all, when using a new grain especially, always read the instructions first, because this said for optimal fluffiest pancakes, make the batter the night before and let it sit in the fridge overnight so the grains can fully activate and absorb all of the liquid. Did I do that? No. So there's that. So for that reason, my pancakes are the size of crepes. They're the thickness of freaking crepes. The other thing is they tell you that it makes 35 3-inch pancakes. 3-inch pancakes are that big. They're teeny tiny. 35 3-inch pancakes. I thought I would be clever and be like, well, I don't need 35 little silver dollar pancakes, so I'm gonna make big pancakes. Joke's on me. There's a reason they give you that suggested serving size. If you make them any bigger, these goofy pancakes will not flip. The outside will cook and the inside will not cook, and you will end up with a pile of pancake mush. It will not flip, it will not work. I tried different sizes. I got some of them to turn out this way, but the best way to cook them was actually in literally this size. Best way to cook them, they're still crepe thin. Luckily, they taste okay, but I kind of never want to make those pancakes ever again because it was so frustrating. Nevertheless, I have some chocolate chips, I have some maple syrup, and I have some butter. I'm gonna go eat my breakfast that, now that it's almost 11:40, is actually lunch. All right, so the next task at hand. P.S. I have been upstairs answering phone calls from my husband. We somehow managed to let our TSA pre-check lapse, which wouldn't really be a big deal because we don't fly anywhere anymore, but on the off chance we do fly, like, oh, he's doing today, he checked his boarding pass last night and he's like, I don't have TSA pre-check. And I thought about it for a second and I was like, how long does TSA pre-check? And for us, we got global entry. How long does that last? And we're like, 5 years? So yeah, turns out it expired at the end of 2014, but because, or not 2014, 2024, but because we've been driving everywhere, including to Florida, we haven't been flying. So like, I haven't gotten on a plane since Hawaii. and it was still valid in May of last year. So we just didn't think about it. So now we're going through the process of making sure that happens. Long story short, we have to reapply, and then the application has to process before you can schedule an interview, and interviews are like already scheduled out through July in Minneapolis. It's just chaos. So whatever, I did what I was supposed to do, and I at least got my part done and told him what he has to do in order for me to help him. So there's that. Now, after all of that and battling with my computer and having a terrible breakfast, which by the way, spiked my blood sugar, like whoa. I don't think it was the maple syrup that was to blame. I mean, I'm sure it didn't hurt, but like, whoa. So and they were mediocre at best. I was gonna say fine, but we're just gonna say mediocre. So unfortunately, I just got rid of the rest of them because I'm never gonna be excited about eating that batch of pancakes ever. So it was a bummer and a waste of teff flour, but wowza. It was just all around not a great experience. So now we're gonna do something that I love to do and I do every once in a while, and that is reorganize my dresser. And that means I'm gonna pull everything out. I'm gonna try things on, not in front of the camera because, you know, you don't need to see all that. But we're going to go ahead and pull things out, reorganize, maybe get rid of some things. We'll see what happens. But I'm so stoked to just turn on some TV and get this job done because I'm gonna feel so much better and so much lighter after all of this is complete. Just so we're clear on what the scenario is here. Like, it's not pretty. It's all overstuffed. It's all completely, utterly unorganized. Specifically, my denim drawer is just, it's out of control, so much so that like it hinders my ability. Ooh, it's so out of control that it hinders my ability to open things. So we're doing it. Here's the before. I'll show you the after. Y'all, I just need a minute to show you all the form-fittingness of my rolls, to tell you that these pants did not button until recently. I have not tried these pants on in months, and because I'm trying on every pair of pants that's in that drawer and every pair of shorts, and by the way, my shorts fit better now than they did last summer. I have a whole pile that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can wear them. Y'all, these pants button. And like, not only do they button, but like I can wear them out. Oh my gosh. Amazing. All right, my friends, here we are. This is the final product. This is my like knock around clothes. They have just a couple of t-shirts that like I don't necessarily plan on wearing in a public setting of any kind, but it's always helpful to have clothes that like if you're doing bleach related projects or painting or things that are gonna get dirty, it's always nice to have a couple of shirts that you can just throw on. And the same with these pants. I actually wear these two pairs of pants really often, but if you can tell, the thigh rub, the inner thigh rub has gotten the best of both of these pairs. So while I will wear them around at home when there's no one else around to see me but my husband, they're not ones I will wear out anymore. So this is just like my knock around stuff. And then we have all of these tank tops. There's a couple t-shirts in here, but it's mostly tank tops. Feeling really good about that drawer. Feels much more organized and much lighter. This, I swear, it's more organized than it looks. It's really hard for me to keep sweatpants like folded nicely, but these are all like yoga pants, sweatpants type stuff that's not gym pants, generally speaking. And then long sleeve shirts and sweatshirts that I wear all year round that aren't the ones that are hanging in the closet. The pajama drawer, I didn't open it all the way. But the pajama drawer is actually much more organized than it was before, which is amazing. There's a lot less in there. I got rid of stuff that was old and dingy and had holes in it. This actually is still organized. This is pants and some sports bras. This is my shirts. Some of the stuff still doesn't fit me quite right, but it's just going to stay there because as I tighten up, I'm just going to reach further into the back of that drawer. And then my denim/shorts drawer. So these are all shorts. I have a lot of shorts that fit me really well this summer, and I'm very excited about it. And then I have my denim pants there. So that feels really, really good to have that task done. So one of the things that I like to do when my husband is going to be away for a business week is to take advantage of all of those mailers that we get. I don't know about you, but I get a ton of these mailers that's like, get $50 off your box or 30% off this for Green Chef, Home Chef, Hungry Chef, whatever the heck they have. And Hungryroot was one of the ones that we had gotten recently. And I really enjoy Hungryroot when I do treat myself to it. I treat myself to it, like I said, typically when my husband's away, but because he's away, this is how I decided to do my grocery shopping this week, and I'm super stoked about it. So let's see what's inside. Okay, you will have to forgive the dishwasher sound in the background. I just started the dishwasher and then 5 minutes later the delivery showed up, which is, you know, story of my life. So one of the reasons I like Hungryroot, this is not sponsored at all. By the way, Hungryroot, if you want to work with me, let's chat because I would love to. But I bought this with my own money and yeah. So what I love about Hungryroot is its approach is healthier, less waste, and it'll actually curate meals for you. So some of the things were actual curated meals that I chose to add to my week, an actual meal plan. And some things were grocery items that I chose on my own. So when you get things, not only does it give you an itemized list of everything and where it goes, right? But like, look at this, use within, it gives you how many days until you can't use your thing anymore. Watch it, I love this, just keep an eye on it. And then pantry items, 8 days. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It has little fresh tips, whatever. And then the recipes are on the back. I did cut it because my address is on the bottom here. So these are the 4 recipes that I chose. And what's interesting is they didn't just like write down the recipes as they are on the website, but they made my changes to it. So if you can see here, let's, for example, the roasted salmon with zucchini and garlic sauce. I decided to not have the jasmine rice come with me because I was going to use a different grain. So I ended up picking out and putting in my list instead. I deleted the jasmine rice, which gave me credit for that product, and I picked the farro instead. I actually had farro and the lentil quinoa rice mix. And so that is what I substituted in. It doesn't know that I substituted it in for this recipe, but it does know that I removed the jasmine rice, so I got credit for that, and then I could spend the credit on the pearled farro. So I could pick the grain that I wanted to eat with it instead. So you can edit the recipes. There's another one in here that I edited. The vodka sauce rigatoni with garlic chicken. So this is my first recipe. What it came with was a box of pasta, the spinach garlic chicken sausage, and the creamy vodka sauce that's pre-made. I did not want to use regular pasta. So I eliminated the pasta. I got the credit for the pasta, and I got to spend that on one of the items over there. And I went to the Target and bought myself plain goodles, not macaroni and cheese goodles, but just the noodles, because nutritionally I like them so much better. So I'm going to make this meal with my own noodles, and it'll be great. And I'm actually very excited about it. So the first meal I got was this chicken sausage pasta bake thing. Not a bake. I don't know what you call it. I'm really excited and kind of bummed that I didn't realize this. I didn't read the nutrition information. These are like super clean, 80 calories a link sausages. The sausages that I eat can be like twice as many calories. And I kind of love that these are only 80 calories a piece. So my plan is to cook these up, cook up the thing of pasta, mix in some of the sauce, and have meals for a couple of days. And this is going to be one of my meals. Another one of the meals, and this came exactly as it was supposed to. This is a naan flatbread, chicken flatbread, and I'm so excited. Naan is currently like one of my favorite things. I love bread, y'all. I love bread. And so what it came with was 2 big flatbread pieces, which is amazing. Half a sheet is 200 calories. We got some protein. We got a gram of fiber in there. They're nice and fresh, so they actually say use within 8 days of receipt. And then the sauce that comes on it, so you heat this up, you spread the feta cucumber tzatziki dip from Good Foods, spread it on there, and then they send you this pre-seasoned, pre-cooked chicken breast. And all you do is you heat it up. You can heat it in an oil skillet. I'm sure you could actually microwave it if you really wanted to. You can slice it up cold. You can do whatever you want with it. And it's super lean, which is really exciting. Chicken breast, olive oil, sea salt, garlic, black pepper. Amazing. And then you put the spread, put the chopped up chicken, and then you top it with arugula, and boom, you have yourself a meal. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So easy. And then the last meal I got was this zucchini garlic salmon situation. So we have 2 portions of salmon here. I did not realize they were farm raised. It says they're sustainably raised, but even so, I prefer wild caught salmon, but I'll let it slide. They send you a single zucchini. And then I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do with the garlic stuff, but Bubby's garlic dipping sauce is the sauce for this meal. So you literally cook the salmon, saute up the veggies, microwave the grain, and then, I don't know, however you want to put the sauce, put some of the sauce in the farro, put some on top of the salmon, on top of the zucchini, whatever. Boom, there's your meal. How stinking easy. Like, yes, it requires a little bit of cooking, but how stinking easy are all 3 of these meals, right? And then I did get myself a breakfast meal. This is 2 servings. So I didn't know these existed, but they're kind of cool. Crepini protein pancakes, 10 grams of protein per 2 pancakes. And there are 4 in here. Yes, they're kind of small, which is fine. They're made with cottage cheese. I literally did not know these existed. So I'm hoping they're good. But what they send is 1 package of this, 1 package of applewood smoked uncured bacon, amazing, and then a little maple syrup cup, right? So it's 2 servings, and you just cook everything up. There's like 3.5 pieces of bacon per serving, 2 pancakes, and a little syrup. Like, again, it's not no cook, but it's quick and easy cook, and I love that. So those are the recipes, and of course the recipes, these are going to last me days. These are going to last me days. I literally just got a text message. He saw me bring the package and he's like, "What'd you get?" Because we have a Ring camera. So he checks in on me whenever I'm alone. And I just got a text message as I'm filming this on my phone that said, "I see how it is." Because I said, "Oh, I got a Hungryroot box." So there's that. And then I got extras with the rest of my credit. I got to pick and choose. This was actually my free item. So when you sign up, sometimes they'll give you an offer of a free item for as long as you're subscribed. And this is almond chickpea cookie dough, which what's not to love, right? 2 tablespoons, 6 grams of fat, 1 gram of fiber, 3 grams of protein. It is made with a base of chickpeas. So it's, I don't know, like cookie dough, almond hummus type stuff. I don't know, it sounded good and it's healthier than just eating cookie dough, right? So the other thing I got, I really like their prepared veggies. This rainbow veggie mix is really nice, sauteed up in a pan. It's got some kale, carrots, cabbage, whatever. A baby head of romaine, this is plenty of romaine for an entire week. I could eat salads 3 times with this. Perfect, love it. Like I said, I got the lentil quinoa mix. What's interesting is the nutrition information is in the portion size is the entire pouch, and the farro is an entire 100 calories less than the lentil quinoa rice mix. And we got 6 grams of fiber compared to the 7 grams of fiber, and 13 protein compared to the 14 or to the 12 grams of protein for 100 calories less, which is super, super interesting. Now, I'm not going to be eating this entire bag at once, but it's really fun to know. And farro is quickly becoming one of our new favorite grains. So we got that. I got this single serving, technically, I guess, spinach feta hand pie. It's technically 2 servings. Got 9 grams of protein in there, 2 grams of fiber, cornmeal crust with spinach and feta cheese. I love feta. I love spinach. I love it all. So I thought I'd give that a try. I got 2 portions of the cold smoked poke style salmon. So it's not raw salmon, but it's smoked salmon. And it's chunked up in poke style. So I can make little poke bowls with these 2 things here. And then I decided to get some wild caught halibut as an extra protein I got my fish going for me this week and probably leaching into next week. But this feels very Mediterranean-ish, right? In terms of the diet for the week. So there's that. And then I got some basil pesto because I love pesto. And Hungryroot's sauces, the Hungryroot brand sauces, are very, very good. The Hungryroot brand products are excellent. So that is everything that I got in my Hungryroot box. So I'm very excited about my Hungryroot box. I'm very excited about the food. I'm very excited about the type of food. I'm very excited. I know it looks like not big portions, but that's kind of the point. How many times, and I am so guilty of this, like so incredibly shamefully guilty of this. How many times do you go to the store and you end up buying too much and the food ends up going to waste, or you get tired of it before you finish the serving, or you're eating the same meal 5 days in a row and you don't necessarily want to be doing that? All of these things are scenarios I put myself in very, very frequently. And I'm not necessarily good at managing my portion sizes in the store. At home, I can manage my portion sizes just fine, but buying the ingredients, I'm not good at it. And so if I went to the store this week, I probably would have ended up buying groceries like my husband was here, and he's not here, and he eats more of the food in the house than I do. So this is a really logical thing for me to do because it doesn't look like much. I still have plenty of stuff at home to supplement the rest of the meals. If you notice, there was only 2 servings of breakfast in there. It's not like I'm not eating breakfast the rest of the week. I have other stuff that I can make and fill in. And there's a high likelihood that some of this food leaches into next week for me as well. I'll make lunches out of it, and et cetera, et cetera. But I love that it's just, here is your 2 pieces of fish. Here's your 2 pieces of salmon. Here's your 1 container of chicken sausages that's supposed to last you 3 or 4 meals. And I think it's just such a way to be more waste conscious, which I love. And I really do like it. And so I will fill you in as I go about my thought on all of the Hungryroot food, but I'm pumped to have it. Now, I do have a referral code. It's just a referral code. Everyone who signs up gets one. But when I was looking at potentially getting one for next week, I saw the want to earn $50. And I was like, yeah, I do. I want to earn $50. Not like to put in my pocket, but like to go towards the next box. And that was my referral code. So if you guys want to try Hungryroot and get $50, 50, off of your first box of $100 or more, like, y'all, that's like half price. That's pretty dang good. For a week's worth of groceries, you get $50 off. Go ahead and use the link that is in the description box below, and you will get $50 off, and I will get $50 credit in my account, which means more Hungryroot boxes for me. So I'll leave that in the description box for you. I got to get this stuff put away and get on with my day. All right, y'all, I made the non-flatbread for dinner tonight, and holy, is it delicious. More accurately, the tzatziki feta sauce dip stuff is incredible. It is incredible. It's so good. So I made the entire naan, which was 2 servings, and I ate until I was satisfied, and I have this much left. So that is going to be probably lunch tomorrow, maybe, which is a really nice way to do the Hungryroot stuff. Make stuff for dinner, and then what's left over you have for lunch. And I have a whole nother naan bread and chicken breast and a whole nother setup to make another flatbread that will probably be 1.5 to 2 servings, which is amazing. And then this is why I picked up the camera. This stuff's friggin' awesome. And the last time I ordered Hungryroot, which was probably a year ago, I got the brownie batter chickpea dough stuff. And it was also incredible. It's a little bit runnier. Is that even the right term? I don't know. The almond in it is almond butter. So it's like, do you see how it's gooey? It is reminiscent of cookie dough. I just put arugula in it. Nice. Y'all, it's very good. Oh, there's tzatziki dip in it now too. Oh dear. Hang on, we gotta take care of that. That flavor won't mix. Okay. It's wildly good. It's wildly good. And this was the freebie that I got in my box. So I just had to report back on what I tried. Excellent. Excellent. Hi, good morning. So it is another day, and I am getting ready to film. Today's an extensive filming day, so I'm getting myself ready. As you can tell, I have makeup on, but what I wanted to show you is I made the grave mistake of going to bed not having done anything with my freshly showered hair last night. I put it in a ponytail, and that was that. So I'm left with this. I'm left with this, and that's not great. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if my new baby that is in this giant thing right here can tame and straighten this mane. What is my new baby? I'm so glad you asked. I got myself, because thank you Costco for the greatest sale of all time on this product. I actually got the Shark Beauty Flex Styler, and I'm super stoked about it because I had the Revlon One Step Styler, which was like the round brush hairdryer attachment, for a long time, and mine was things were breaking off of it, and it was like burning my hair, and it was probably time to upgrade it. And so I convinced my husband. It didn't take much convincing at all. I was actually like, so this thing's on sale at Costco, and it's on sale everywhere else too, but it's cheaper at Costco. Can I get it? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. As long as it means that I do my hair more often. So, cause working on that glow up thing, right? He's trying to be supportive of my goals. So it has the cool like curly hair attachments, like the Dyson Airwrap and things like that. And then it has this. This thing is black magic. It's like the anti-frizz tool, but this tool has been the reason I haven't had to use my hair straightener since I got this thing. If I blow dry my hair and then I use this, I can freaking get away with no hair straightener. It's banana pancakes. So I'm gonna see if using the round brush to try and, do you see all this? We're gonna see if we can straighten this out and use the anti-frizz tool and see if we can't get my hair to look normal. This will be the true test of the power of this product. Pretty impressive, right? I'm still learning how to figure out the curling so it looks optimal and so I do it efficiently, but all in all, I'm really in on this Shark Beauty Flex Styler thing. I mean, it looks like I ran a straightener through my hair, and I did not. Not bad. So I thought it might be fun to just sit and chat to finish off this productive yet soft life vlog. And the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was, what does soft life and productive life mean? Because I think there's a common misconception that when you hear about this trend that's happening right now, and is it a trend? I don't know. It might be more of a cultural realization than a trend, if we're being honest, but leaning into, especially for more feminine beings like women, we are tending to, most women, we are tending to lean more into our feminine energy, back where we were created and meant to live, instead of this hustle and go and to-do list and achieve, and what's next masculine energy, which we all have access to and tap into for certain projects, certain seasons of life and things of that nature. Don't think this is me saying that we should not be leaning into masculine energy. We all have masculine energy, but as feminine creatures, we thrive when we are living mostly in the feminine energy. And so with the resurgence of leaning into feminine energy, I have found that the soft life is something that's commonly talked about. And I mean, obviously it caught my attention because I started to lean into it as well. And over the last month, over my spring break, I really tried to lean in and understand and appreciate everything that that means. And the first thing that it's really important to understand is leaning into a softer life does not mean leaning into laziness. We can still be wildly productive and still have a soft life. What I've discovered is that for me, leaning into the softer lifestyle is having more of a things I need to get done this week list, and then tapping into where my energy is on the day-to-day to really determine what I can get done in that day. And there are some days where my energy might be popping. Today's actually one of those days. I woke up naturally just before 7 a.m. and I immediately was able to get up. I did my Bible study, got some coffee, and have hit the ground running today. But what I'm also doing is making sure I'm using that energy that I have discovered I have today to do the things that are most important. Which means I've punted my workout for today because I know that if I use my workout, I will consume a lot of the energy that would result in me not having the energy to create all of the content I would like to create today later, if that makes sense. So figuring out my energy balance, both on the day-to-day, on the week-to-week, and how things ebb and flow has really helped me be able to lean into where does my energy flow and what to-do list items need to be done during certain peaks and flows of my energy. So when I'm having a really high energy day, I know that one of two things can happen. I can get a lot done physically or I can get a lot done mentally. And I'm hoping that over time, as I really continue to lean into the soft life and flowing with my energy, which also for me is super important for my disability and the chronic fatigue that I experience, I have found that I have less fatigue when I lean into what can my energy be capable of right now versus what is my time capable of right now. And it has been tremendously helpful. So I'm learning about flowing with my energy instead of flowing with the hours, and it has really been helping me, and it has helped me be wildly productive these last few days. You have seen, I don't actually think I showed you this. I cleaned out the refrigerator, I cleaned out the freezer, I cleaned out the cabinet underneath the coffee maker, I cleaned out the pantry. I did a complete wardrobe overhaul of every drawer in my dresser and my closet and the set of 3 bins that are hiding in my closet. I have tackled a couple of admin tasks for the home that needed to be done. I have started, albeit not completed, but I have started the office overhaul. I have spent some time at the piano, and yes, I've also spent some time relaxing. And it has felt so good to be able to ebb and flow and do all of those things. I feel like I've been wildly productive while my husband has been gone, which is great because when he comes back, it means I will have less to do ultimately, which is amazing. And so the more I lean into this, the more productive I'm going to end up being ultimately. And my hope is my energy, as I'm shaking off this rut, this lethargy, this languishing, whatever it is that caused me to take the spring break to begin with, I fully trust that my energy is gonna find itself again too, which is amazing. Oh, and I went for a walk outside. Yes, and I plan on doing that again today because it's beautiful outside. So the soft life does not mean lazy. It just means a different approach. And that approach is really gonna help me in this season of life. And I'm very, very excited about it. So fear not, as I continue to grow and discover this area of my life, I will be sharing the results with you as well. Now, I thought it might be fun to do a quick what are my May goals, because I don't actually have a May goals video set because I kind of just did like a life update, where are we now, what's coming, I'm back video. So I thought I would just share with you what my goals for May are right here in the end of this video here. So my first monthly action item is to solve my skin problem. I have been having wildly bad dry skin. And I know I've been complaining about it for the last couple of months, but like it's not getting better. I am literally slathering myself in 3 different moisturizers every night. And like it's improving, but not at a rate that is inspiring to me. So I don't know what I'm not doing. I don't know. I'm using immensely hydrating products. I'm using hydrators, like actual hydrators, and then I'm sealing it in with something like an Aquaphor or what's it called? Beef tallow, because that is like a seal to keep all the moisture in. I am exfoliating, but not too much. And it's wild. And so today, like, I don't hate my makeup today, but up close and personal, I don't love it either. Like, it's not the worst it's ever been, but it's still not great. So I'm still actively trying to figure out what is going on with my skin. Is there something internally that I could be doing differently? I don't know. We'll see what happens as the month progresses, but one of my big goals is to figure out what's going on here. My other big goal is I am weaning myself off of my trazodone, which is the pill that I started taking back in 2020 for sleep anxiety. And I've been taking it since October of 2020. And we're starting to realize that it might be the reason that I have felt so lethargic and I've had no get up and go, and all of the stuff that's really been holding me back could actually be a result of that pill, and I just never thought about it because I take it at night. I sleep it off. Not a big deal. It might potentially be a big deal. So I am slowly weaning myself off of trazodone, and my goal is to be at 50% of my regular dosage by the end of May. At the current trajectory, I might be done with it by May. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if I can actually sleep or if I needed to sleep. Things of that nature. Here's what I know. I have cut it down from 100% to 75% the last week, and it has been a lot easier for me to get out of bed. I don't know if it's placebo effect, or I don't know if removing that 25% of my dosage is enough to kind of kickstart me. If it's actually because of the 25% reduction in this drug, I cannot wait to see what energy I have at 0%. So that is one of my goals. I'll talk more about it, or I might have already talked about it in my comeback video. I haven't filmed that yet, but just so you know, that's one of the big goals this month. Prep and batch my content. I'm actually doing that today. Reduce my screen time by 50%. I have a number that I have for like average daily hours, and my goal is to slash that bad boy in half. Do the Wicked Lego set. I finished my DeLorean. It's down there. I don't think you can see it. It's down there, and which is great, but I didn't touch the Wicked Lego set that I meant to do this month. So next month's goal is to do the Wicked Lego set. Earn 25 miles on my latest Harry Potter medal. I am in the middle of book number 2, Chamber of Secrets, for the Conqueror Challenge Harry Potter medals. And my goal is to get 25 miles logged with that. I can either do that on the elliptical or walking. And then my goal is to upload 8 videos. 8 videos. I have several more. I think I have 10 or 12 slated, but I want to do at least 2 a week. So fingers crossed, y'all. Fingers crossed this is the comeback. My weekly action items, things I want to do every week. I want to send an email newsletter. Since I'm coming back, I want to be able to re-engage my audience. If you're not a member of my mail list and you want to be, I'll have a link down below for you. You can click. It's just a quick little sign-up sheet and you'll get my newsletter every single week. Upload 2 to 3 videos a week. Yes, that is my primary focus of May, so I want to give myself credit twice on the power sheets. Limit my sweet treats to 4 times a week. And this is very contrary to what I've been preaching about myself for years now, which is I eat dessert every day. Here's the thing. I don't know if sugar consumption is contributing to my skin issues. I don't know if sugar consumption is contributing to my energy ebbs and flows. What I do know is I'm seeing progress in my weight loss journey. My body is getting smaller, pants are starting to fit, things are starting to fit better, and I want to do what I can to keep that trajectory going, maybe even speed it up a little bit without feeling complete deprivation. So notice I'm not saying I'm not eating dessert anymore, or I'm eating dessert once a week. I'm not even cutting it in half. I'm just trying to be much more intentional about the sugar-laden sweet treats. I can have some of like the more diet-friendly ones, like, I don't know, chocolate rice cakes or a True Bar as a dessert, a Heat Bar as a dessert, fruit as a dessert. That's absolutely fine. I'm talking about the stash of M&Ms and Reese's Eggs and gummy bears that I have, or desserts that I might bake for various occasions. Those kind of things I need to cut back on having every single day. And so we're gonna start with 4 days a week and see how that goes. I also have a goal of consuming 30 different plants every single week for gut health purposes, regular health purposes, fiber consumption purposes, all the things. And then I wanna walk 3 miles outside every week, weather permitting, because it is beautiful outside now and there's really something powerful and impactful about communing with nature. So I want to get outside a lot more than I have been. I've been really bad at it, and I'm craving that sunlight and that nature and everything. My daily action items: drink a gallon of water, eat 5 servings of plants every day, 10,000 steps, and remember to take all my stinking supplements because I've been so bad at it. I have morning supplements, I have beverage related supplements, and I have my evening supplements, and without fail, I skip at least 1, maybe 2 of them every day. And I need to remember to take them so they can actually work their magic. And so in a different video, I'll actually tell you what those are. But I just wanted to make sure that I told you what my goals for May were. So there you go. For those of you that don't know, I am using the Cultivate What Matters Power Sheets for my goal planner this year. This is my 10th year using it and I still love it. So it's a wonderful, wonderful product. That's what I've been using even in April. I just haven't talked about it because I haven't been creating content. So My friends, that's all I have for you in today's vlog. Thank you so much for being here, spending some time with me and watching me get things done and talk through things and live a day or two in my life. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help me out. And if you want to join the Diva and the Divine community, please click that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for sticking with me. I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Bye.